And we have no stone in Cambridge, so all of the building here, it was the first of the stone buildings. It all had to come from somewhere else in the country. Down the sea, in along the river, just at the end of Cambridge. And it was carved in Cambridge. During that 100 years, there were 5 kings of England. And one of those kings killed the one who'd been here before him. There was a battle going on.
Wow.
The Wars of the Rose represented by a dragon. And his mother, Lady Margaret Beaufort, who founded 2 colleges in Cambridge, she's represented by the White Greyhound of Richmond. And they are supporting the king. And either side you see the Tudor rose, but you also see this thing that looks like a grill, like a portcullis. It's part of Lady Margaret Beaufort's heraldry, and you will see it all around Cambridge. You will also see it all around the Houses of Parliament in London, make of this glass. But the London glassmakers, the Guild in London, they were very angry about that because they said, these are our jobs. We want this job, but Henry said no. Henry said, I want the glassmakers from London because that was a very special skill and only they knew how to do this. He also wanted pictures. He didn't want just images of one person, he wanted pictures in the glass. And so what you see are stories from the Old Testament of the Bible and the New Testament. All around the top half of the windows are Old Testament stories. And around the bottom half are New Testament. But the stories are linked, and I just want to give you one example of how that works. I want you to look, if you can, this group of windows here. Look at the one on the bottom right. The lady in blue with the baby on her lap. Have you all got it? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. This lady in blue, next to the pillar. Okay. This is Mary sitting in the stable. Baby had been born. And in the next window along, 3 kings came to visit the baby. You all know this story. I hope you all know this story. 3 kings, one from Asia, one from Africa, and one from Europe. Because when these windows were made, nobody knew about America or Australia. So we only have 3 kings from the continents that were known at that time. And those kings, of course, took gifts to the king they'd heard about. 2 windows directly above, which are a very long way up, there is a lady in pale blue in the middle from the Old Testament. She's called the Queen of Sheba. And she'd heard about someone who was said to be the wisest man in the world. Does anyone know his name? He is Solomon. He is the wisest man in the world. And there he is, standing up in that brown outfit. It looks like this. I haven't quite got it. It looks like this. Now this man, the wisest man in the world, he doesn't look like a man from Palestine. He looks like a Tudor king because the poor old glassmakers didn't know what Palestinians looked like. So they dressed him in Tudor outfit. Not only did they dress him in Tudor outfit, but they dressed him to look like this man. Oh dear. Because this is King Henry VIII. And he was paying for the windows. He said, I'll be there. We know people like this, don't we? They
Yes.
come up from time to time. And so she also had gone to visit somebody and took him gifts because she'd heard about his wisdom and the hope that he gave people. And all of the windows that you see all around this chapel have stories that are linked between the Old Testament and the New Testament, the continuity of God's message. all came out. They were all packed away underground for safety. It took 3 months to get them all out. Took photographs, numbered them, knew where they all had to go back. But at the end of the war, before the end of the war, this is what they did. They hung these huge pieces of canvas that was covered in tar just to keep the building safe. And it all rattled in the wind because it gets very windy here in the winter. At the end of the war, it took them 5 years to get the windows back.
Wow.
5 years, because they did bits of cleaning, bits of restoration, bits of repair. So poor Mary, who looks like an old lady, and she wasn't, of course, she was a very young woman. She has her mother's face from window 1 because her face got broken. And Anna, in window 1, had a new face made. So it was all put back very carefully. There weren't many breakages, but poor Mary lost her.
So that's amazing that they could preserve this.
Absolutely.
Because in Germany you don't find any stained glass.
And when the Duke of Westminster died, the family had to sell the painting to pay for his death duties, his taxes. And so this painting went to auction. Went to auction in London. It was bought by another man called Major Onlett. He was a property developer. He had a lot of money. I think he must also pay quite a big house. So this is a huge painting. He kept it for 3 years. You can come here to hear this organ being played and the choir singing. If you want to come today, you would need to be outside the gate at 5 o'clock, and you have to wait, and they will bring you in to hear the world famous King's College Choir, and the organ will play. It's an organ. It's absolutely massive.